Every Batman needs a Robin. Michael had Scotty. LeBron had Wade, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Shaq, and Kobe. You can go down through history, and it feels like there was a Batman and there was a Robin. OKC already has their Batman in the MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And last night it became really clear to the, probably the NBA population watching this OKC team probably for the first time. Jalen Williams is a sidekick of sorts, but he's a star in his own right. He was third team All-NBA. He went to Santa Clara. He had scholarship offers to Hofstra, and Santa Clara, one other school in there. And that's it. He had 40 points last night, biggest game of his young career. So you got Shai Gilgeous, who's 25, Williams, who's 23, and wasn't afraid of the bright lights last night. He was the best player on the floor for a good portion of that game. Now, I know we get caught up in big names, and rightfully so. If you start to look at Michael and Scotty, LeBron and Kyrie, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, the performance last night between Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams is one of the best in the last 50 years. So hear me out on this. They combined to score or assist on 103 points. That's the most by a duo in an NBA Finals game in the last 5 decades. Stat of the day, brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the Dan Patrick Show. But 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go. It's a 2-point game. Tyrese Haliburton is banged up. He didn't score a basket. He had 4 points. He couldn't even get shots up. And then you started to wonder, and I wondered at halftime, would he even play in the second half? Because you can live to play another game. You have another game back in Indiana. You're guaranteed that, no matter what happened last night. That's what I didn't understand with Rick Carlisle. And we can talk about how great a coach he is. I did not agree with that. But I'd like to know more, and maybe more will come out because the next game is on Thursday. The relationship that the coach has with his star player, did the star player want to come out? Does the coach say to him, I want you to come out? Because you don't want to take out your best player or one of your best players. But he was hurting you. And T.J. McConnell was wonderful when he came in the third quarter. He actually took over. Here is Rick Carlisle talking about Tyrese Haliburton.
He's not 100%. It's pretty clear. But I don't think he's going to miss the next game. And, we were concerned at halftime. And he insisted on playing. And I thought he made a lot of really good things happen in the second half. But he's not 100%, and there's a lot of guys in this series that aren't.
Yeah, but this was really pronounced. You could see that he was struggling. But here's Haliburton talking about deciding to play.
I mean, it's NBA Finals. It's the finals, man. I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete, help my teammates any way I can. I was not great tonight by any means, but, it's not really a thought of mine to not play here. If I can, walk, then I want to play. So, they understand that, and, is what it is. And, got to be ready to go for Game 6.
You can be hurt and you can be injured. If you're injured, then you shouldn't play. If he's just banged up a little bit, then, okay, I understand he wants to go out there. But at some point, you have to realize they're going to take advantage of him being out there. And the fact that T.J. McConnell was playing so well kind of exacerbated that. I didn't want Haliburton out there, and I want him to be great in Game 6. I don't want him to be average in Game 5 and then average in Game 6. I would have shut him down at halftime, said it at the time, don't play him. Now, they had a big lead. They did cut that lead. Then it's a 2-point game with 8.5 to go. But he was not a factor. And nobody was able to stop Jalen Williams or Shai Gilgeous. I mean, Gilgeous had an oh-by-the-way game. When he had 32 and 10 assists, like an oh-by-the-way game. 31 and 10. Oh, by the way. Talk about efficient. Talk about where that he's one of those players where you go, he had how many? Certain guys you go, wait, he only had that many? He's one of those guys where you go, wait, he had that many? And it's all 2-pointers. Him and Williams. Like, this is a box score out of the 90s where you got a couple of three-pointers and that's it. They're just scoring. But Indiana still has another game back at home on Thursday night, and I hope we get to see the best of Haliburton because he has had an incredible playoff run, one that we'll remember for a long, long time. And you could put him up there with clutch shooters, clutch players, but last night I needed to help him help himself and not play the second half of the game. Now, you might be saying, all right, we're going to lose this game. But you were only down 2 with 8.5 to go. And that's where you have to rely on your other players. Haliburton wasn't able to, and that's where you ask your team to step up. And they made it interesting. And then all of a sudden, 1.5 minutes to play, and then all the starters came out. And I was like, okay. Yeah, Marvin.
If there's a team that would do something like that where, hey, Tyrese, you take a back seat, we'll handle this, it's the Pacers. Because you have a bunch of those guys that are willing to step up in those moments, a la a Nembhard, a TJ McConnell, Naismith. Those guys, they would be ready to step up.
Yeah, Obi Toppin. I mean, they do have players, but OKC played defense. Everybody plays defense. It's remarkable. I mean, even SGA plays defense, but like you have to. That's and Lou Dort doesn't care. Hartenstein doesn't care about. They don't care about offense. Now, you want me to shoot a three? Dort can do that. But to be able to have a team that understands how that team works, sometimes that's the biggest hurdle because everybody wants to be a star. And if I would have said to you prior to letting you know that Jalen Williams was, third-team All-NBA, you never would have thought that. Yeah, Marvin.
He's kind of got a Chris Middleton feel to him where it's like,
okay,
man, this guy is so good. But if you're not a hardcore NBA fan, you have no idea who this is.
Third-team All-NBA. Now, they might reward OKC because you have 68 wins. Okay, SGA, well, he's not doing it alone, and then sometimes you'll single out somebody else on the team. Jalen Williams showed you last night, hey, I'm good. I'm only 23 years of age. Yeah, Paul.
I saw some people complaining on social media about the refs not calling more fouls against OKC. But it feels like OKC is that old, remember the Seattle Seahawks defense? Foul on every possession, rough people up on every possession. You can't call them all. And it's working so far.